I was just getting ready to go somewhere, and I saw
Yeah.
the light that said you are live. So I guess I'll wait until the opening comes up, and then
Yeah.
I'll go get my.
That might be good.
Uh, yeah.
What in the world? What in the world?
I
You
see the
ladies ready
live.
for tonight? Big
Yes.
Ruth keeps saying that we're just gonna talk. So we're just gonna talk
That's
tonight.
it. We just have a conversation.
We're gonna have a conversation with the co-hosts tonight. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I'm
And
sharing the broadcast.
you know me, I have something to read. So
Well,
that's
that's
always
good.
a good part of my conversation. So I will be doing that. I hope. Did you all get any rain today? Did you
I
get in your area?
I don't
Yes.
think so.
No.
I don't even
I
know. I don't know.
well, before yeah, I mean, we kind of took naps, so maybe while
Yeah,
we were
I had an afternoon now. I couldn't tell you what happened.
I hear you.
All right.
I took
All
one.
right, everybody. It's time to roll your open.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Alan.
Have a great show.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, co-host. Good evening,
Good evening.
Victoria.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Ruth. Good evening. Good
good evening.
evening to our
Good
listeners who
evening.
are going to join us tonight. I hope somebody's going to come on and be with us. But you know what? We do good with just the three of us. So
Fine,
Yeah,
right?
we do. We
Fine.
do.
You can always watch the replay.
that's right. That's right. You know, that's right. That replay is a good thing because a lot of times I know people go back and they make some comments and things in our replay. So we're glad about that as well. I see Miss Linda has popped on. Hey there, Linda Cooks.
Linda.
Good to have you with us this evening. And I tell you what, this has been. I've had a good week this
Mm-hmm.
week. Um, I hope you all have too.
Yeah.
I'm still on my medical journey, so I think next week will be the last week of meeting new physicians and
Oh
having
God.
new meds and
Yeah.
all of that. I'm anxious to get that out of the way and anxious to get on a workable regimen. I should
Hmm.
say. I think that's how I'll put that, and that's a tough thing to do, but I am hanging in there. And thank
Good.
you for those of you who are cheering me on and checking on me and making sure I'm doing what I am supposed to be doing. I know I am a challenge.
Good.
I am a
Listen to
handful
her.
when it comes to medical stuff, but I'm getting better. I'm doing better. So I'm
Good.
happy about that. I'm happy about that. Did anybody do any walking this past week? Anybody? Anybody do any exercise?
No,
No, no.
I
Ruth,
did that.
you hung in there with your exercising? That's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it was kind of sporadic. My work hours are changing. Well, not
Oh, really?
changing, but they're, it's requiring more of me. So I'm not
Mm,
able, sometimes I need to be in the office. Sometimes I just wake up and I'm just like, I'm going back to bed. Um,
right, right.
so it's just every day is different, but I'm trying, if I don't get my morning run in, I at least try to walk during the day. So I'm getting something.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
guess
and you usually run in the morning
I try, yeah.
before you go to work?
Hmm.
That's cool. That's
Hmm.
cool. If you get any exercise in Victoria, it's in the evening for you, right?
that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She didn't
I
get past that if.
I said if if you get any
You
in.
know, I need to start doing something. And my wonderful friend gave me a tracker for my arm for Mother's Day today. Ruth, I think
Oh,
she was,
she
I think she
did.
was trying to tell me something.
Well, she's trying to tell us because she gave
So
me one as well.
That's it.
I think I better start getting use. I got to figure out how to use it, put it on my arm, and track
Uh-huh.
Oh, she'll help you,
something.
honey. She'll help you. She'll help.
So,
Mine stopped one time, and I had to take it to a church and say it's not working. I'm walking, but it's not working.
and what was the matter with it?
Yeah.
Was it
We
what was
figured
wrong
it
with
out.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I
figured it out.
think
It
it
was
was
just
something about syncing it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll figure it out because I have to get moving. The weather's clearing up. I have no more
Mhm.
excuses. I just got to do it. You know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
stop
We
sitting
will.
around.
We will. The good news is that there's always another day. So I can start again. I can
That's
start
right.
over. That's one thing about this little tracker thing. It just resets itself.
Oh, okay. I
So
like
That's
that.
true.
I'm gonna look forward to getting
yes.
mine up and running and
So
getting and using it.
that's what makes me feel better. Because at midnight it goes back to zero and nobody knows.
Ah,
If I don't sync it, nobody knows but
good.
me and the tracker. We're the only ones. But okay, well, we have a different kind of show tonight.
Mhm.
We are in a relaxed place this evening. I think that's the way that I want to put it. Of course, this is Mother's Day, but we all have very different perspectives about that, as many of you do as well.
Right.
And we were also talking about the fact and I know this may seem an odd place to put this, but our program also replays on Saturday evenings at 7 p.m. So if there is any time that you miss a program, like some of you may be off doing other things this evening, and you miss the program and you want to see it, it is replayed at 7 p.m. on Saturday evenings, right here on ALH Broadcasting. And where's the podcast, guys? If they just want to go to the podcast and check it out there.
Okay, so they can go to actually anywhere you can get podcasts. So if you listen to music on Apple or Spotify or any of those, they can download the podcast. That's audio only. If they want to view it as well, they can also go to YouTube. And by Wednesday of the week, that's when we upload the most recent shows.
Oh God. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Man.
you know where to find us. You know where to find us,
Absolutely.
because I know you all are looking. I know you wonder where where can I get to them? I need to see
That's
what
right.
they are up to. And I'm excited about something, and I cannot wait. I am excited about, we always talk about the past week. Well,
hmm
I'm excited about what's coming. I am excited about June. June, your authors will have a getaway.
Yes.
My God.
We
Yes.
are going to have a
It's in
getaway.
sight. I see it. It's in sight
I
now.
see
It's
it, I see it.
yes.
It is coming up soon. I can hardly wait.
Yeah.
And we actually have a project that we are going to work on while we are away. And it is something that our listeners are going to have the benefit of enjoying in days to come. But we have done some collaborative efforts before when
Mhm.
we did our productions. We did Mama's House was one that we did. Reunion was
Yes.
Hmm.
one that we did, a collaborative effort. And it's not always easy to write with someone. There are a lot of anthologies, and there are a lot of books that are out there now that are collaborative efforts where the individual submits their part,
Right.
and it is included in the the book that they are putting together. It could be something about strength or something empowering women or whatever, but everybody has their little part that they go off and write about. They write their testimony or whatever, and then they come back together and they put it all together in a book. But what we do is we actually write together. And that says that we have a story to tell, and we tell it through the characters that we are assigned to write for. And the
Mm-hmm.
first time we did it, we really did not know how it was going to turn out, but it worked. It
Yeah,
did
it
work.
did.
It did.
And I laugh about it now when I think about it, because Ruth was, I just write. That's all I know how to do. I pick up on the paper and the words come and I write them down and fine. Well, our brilliant publisher would say things like, okay, whose perspective is that? And I'm like, who's what? What is she talking about?
And those tenses, she got on about the
Guy is
tenses.
gonna say that right here, you know. And it was a little challenging, but what I liked about it, and you guys can say how you felt about that whole process, but I like the fact that none of us, not one of us, was so married to the character or the story that we were not willing to shift, that we
Right.
were not willing to have the other one say, no, if this is this character, if he is this way, if this is his life, he
Yeah.
wouldn't say that. That's
No.
that's not the way that he would communicate in that particular scenario. And I loved that. And I love the fact, and Ruth, this will go down in history in my list of quotes to live by. And that is, let the characters tell the story.
Yep.
Yes.
Let the characters tell the story. And we were able to do that. So we're going to be at it again. And I am
Mhm.
so excited. I'm not going to say what the story is going to be about. I'm not going to leak any of that right now. I'm going to keep that under wraps, because with us, you never know.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the
How it
truth.
starts is not always how it
What
goes.
is? That's true. That's true.
So,
And
so
we've already seen that already.
that's right. We've got an idea. We're gonna let God guide us, and I'm excited about it. I'm
Mhm.
excited about it.
Too.
What's your perspective on all that stuff, guys?
I am thrilled. I haven't written much lately. I've been working on other projects, so I am just looking forward to getting down to outlining and creating a story that I know I've loved in
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just creating, something that other people will be able to enjoy. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really am.
Yep.
I am too. I am too. I'm looking forward to the collaboration because I believe we do that very well.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward already to the finished product that we can get in people's hands. I'm just excited about that. And first of all, I'm excited about being our trip, about going away. This is
Yes.
first of all, I can't believe it's a year, right? Since we've done this, and so it's nice.
Yeah, it
It's going to be
has.
really nice, and we've extended it a little bit this year by a day, and I'm just excited.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I haven't been anywhere really since then, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it a lot,
Yeah.
just for the R&R.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we keep talking about self-care and
Yes,
taking better care of ourselves and taking better care of our health. And sometimes you just need to take care of the remote control and just see
Mhm.
what I can see.
right, right,
See what I can see. What
or not see.
I'm going to ask you something, and it's really totally off topic and everything else. But what do you remember the name of the last Spider-Man movie that came out?
Wow,
Was
Like recently?
Spy, the
Ooh,
least.
few months back, but it was the last one that was released. And I've
Something
been
about
trying to
something home,
think of
welcome
the
home,
name of
Spider-Man, welcome home, or something.
No Way Home.
See, I
No.
knew it was with a home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home, I think it is. Yeah.
Is it out anywhere? Do we know?
It's probably available on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I think you still had to pay for it last time I went, so
Oh.
I hadn't got it yet. I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, it just depends on where. I mean, some theaters may carry it, some may not. It's been really weird. Because we went to see Father Stew last week, and that was worth going to see, but
Oh, you
only a
did
few
go.
theaters,
Okay.
carried
Really?
it. Mm-hmm.
I'll
Oh,
put that
yeah.
on my list
Mm-hmm.
because I think I had a question mark about Father Stew.
Okay.
But if you said it was good, then I'll take your word for it. Now I'll check out Stew.
Okay.
You want to check out Spider-Man?
Yeah, I do.
I do
really
too.
want
I
to.
do too. I like him.
Because
I like
when it came out, I had I think that came out in some the Matrix. I think
Okay.
the Matrix movie came out. It was like on the same weekend or right around the same time.
Okay.
And we opted to do the Matrix one.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got back to see Spider-Man. So I want to see Spidey.
Okay.
So, I think what she's saying is if it's still out by the time we go to the beach, let's go see it. I think that's what she was plugging
Oh,
in.
okay. Okay. She already in vacation mode. That's okay.
Yes,
That is
yes.
fine.
I am beyond
And we
ready.
just at the beginning of May, and we're not going to almost the end of June. Hold on, lady.
I know
Good.
it's gonna be a while. I'm gonna have to find something that I really enjoy doing. It's gonna make the days fly by, and I mean
Exactly.
fly. They've got to fly by.
You can start your next book.
I've got that to work on, but you know what
okay.
I've been working on is I've been working on greeting cards.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I
Yes.
have been. I was going to do a vendor show, but that didn't quite turn out. But I've got this bug about doing these cards, and I've just been cranking them out, and just he's giving me some little verses and ways to put them together.
All right.
And so I don't know where I'm going to sell them. I don't know how I'm going to sell them. Ruth's going to help me with that. She doesn't know that.
There you go, Ruth.
Yes,
Yet
I
another
She helps me with
project.
all that stuff. So
I still want my card for my girlfriend on the loss of her mom. I still want a card.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Well, we'll get right on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Because I certainly had forgotten about that.
It's okay.
Okay. All righty. I can do that.
So I'm going to jump right in with my weekend review.
Okay.
And the week was really nice, but today was a beautiful day. And I want to tell our listeners, look, y'all see my makeup, y'all? Y'all see my makeup? And then those in podcast,
Flutter
look,
those
and those in
eyelashes.
podcast land, I got a complete makeover, and I got eyelashes on. I got eyelashes. Look.
Stop.
Y'all see my eyelashes?
Yes, we do.
This is the first time I got eyelashes, and it's so nice. It's so nice.
Can you feel them?
Actually, no.
Okay.
They are so light, and anyway. What happened was the church selected 6 moms to honor, and I was one of the six people selected, and I was so humbled and so honored to have been chosen for that. We got a makeover. We got to go up on stage today and talk with our bishop about the joys and trials of motherhood. And then they presented us with a gift certificate to Bella Trio, which is a spa shop here. And they, put enough on the gift card. I guess we get a massage, manicure, pedicure, whatever, And it's just, I'm so flattered and so humbled and so grateful. And I got home from church and I laid down on the side of my head so I wouldn't mess up my makeup. I said, this got to carry me all to tonight for the show.
Very
Just a
pretty.
blessing, just a
Beautiful.
blessing. And I feel good, feel pampered, feel loved. And it's been a wonderful day. Really it is. I hope you guys' day has been just as wonderful.
Yeah. I
That's
had
awesome.
a good day as well. I had a good day being able to enjoy the testimonies of the women who were honored today. Listeners, I was sharing with Victoria and Ruth uh, the fact that I don't think there was any, between those six women, I don't think that there was any journey that was
Mm-mm.
untouched. I just don't, and it was really uplifting. It was moving. It was good. And if there was any, and I think right now is a time for hope. You know, people need to hope again,
Amen.
and
I agree.
looking at these six beautiful women and seeing how beautiful they were, and they all made up and fluttering the eyelashes and all that good stuff. It was just good to see a little self-care in action.
And it was
uh,
nice. It
so
was.
that was good. That was good. I spent some time this weekend with my daughter. I was determined to go out, and I wanted to, I don't know whether you all ever get into this, but I just wanted to buy, I wanted an outfit. I wanted to buy something, and I
Mhm.
could
Yeah.
find nothing.
Yeah,
Oh.
that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
nothing fit right. Nothing was the right color. Nothing was, I just couldn't find anything. I'm kind of leery sometimes of trying to order online, although I
Mm-hmm.
see other people who do it and they have
Yeah,
great success. But
but that kind of takes the fun out of it
yeah,
too,
Yeah, you
you
want to go in
know?
and shop and try it on and feel the fabric.
And go home with it. You
Yes.
know, when you order it online, it's just like, okay,
yeah.
great, I found what I like, but now I have to wait like 48 hours to a week
To
to
what to
get it.
come. Like
And then
So,
I have to wait to find out that it doesn't fit,
fit.
and then
yeah.
send it back, and
Or
then
that it
get
looks nothing like the picture. Like
that's I know, right? But I tell you what I did that did not let me down. Food.
Yeah.
food.
Oh, food was good. Good. We just, went out, had some good things to eat at some old favorite restaurants, and it was a
Good.
good day.
Good.
But by the end of the afternoon, man, the weather was changing. It was getting cold and windy and all of that.
I
But
put the heat on when I woke up. I said, wait a minute, it's
yes,
a little chilly in here. I put the heat
yes,
on.
yes. I had to
What
do the
we're not
same
gonna do
thing
is
today.
cold.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
it was good. It was altogether good, and I loved it, and I loved the women today and the things that they had to share, and that was good. That was good. I
Mhm.
think it was good for all who were there. And
Good day.
Ruth, you were there this morning too,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was incredible. Bishop said, one thing that struck me was when he closed out at the end and he talked about, you know, people being touched because they shared their story. And it's
yeah,
when we share our stories that we can make a difference. We always talk about nobody can tell story the way an author can. Everybody has a story to tell. And there's sometimes we're going to tell it I want to encourage others and say that your story will impact somebody,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't be afraid to share it. Obviously, you're not going to go around with a bullhorn sharing, telling
Right.
your story,
Right.
but there will be an appropriate place to share it, and we shouldn't be afraid to do that because that story will touch somebody's heart and it will make a difference for someone.
I
So,
agree.
I thought it was a beautiful day.
yeah. And something he said too that I think was very, very important and impactful in and of itself, and that is that believers, um, for whatever reason, it seems to be more difficult for us to share, and this is a phrase I'm going to use, but I'm not necessarily fond of, our truth, to
Mm-hmm.
my truth. Well, I'm not going to go down that road, but um, the point that he was making is, we are not perfect. We
Nope.
believe God, we know God, we have a relationship with God, but that was not necessarily always the case.
Hmm.
And it is in telling that this wasn't always the case side of us
Hmm.
Right.
that helps people to know him and
Yes.
draw him,
Yes.
because people, will look at you and say, you do not look like what you've been through.
Amen.
Hmm.
Amen. Amen.
And
No.
what you've been through is amazing, because you did come through. You did come
Hmm.
out on the other side of that.
Right.
And we should, as believers, I think, be the first to be able to say, because it's something that you said today, Victoria. It's about the love. It's
Right.
about displaying that light and love of Christ. And if we as believers don't tell our story, our before, got our before,
Hmm. Hmm.
share our before, then people will not truly understand the
Yeah.
the, the, the sentence that says we're a new creature,
That's
new
right.
creature
Right.
in Christ. And I know that I am. He's still working on me, which I'm glad about.
Amen.
It's not, but whew, when I think of where I was,
Lord.
yep,
Amen.
I'm
Right.
I
We had
look, I think we could all take up a few hours talking about where we was.
that
yes, so where we are now. Amen. We
is it. And
in
I am
preparation for today, they had asked us to think of 3 words. And of course we didn't get to everything because of how conversation shifted, but they had asked us to prepare 3 words that would describe motherhood. And my 3 words are life changing, interesting, and rewarding.
Mhm.
So, and that sums it up because, when I found out I was pregnant, it changed my life. It changed some things I was doing. I said, okay, I can't have that wine cooler anymore, So stop drinking. So from the very moment I found out I was pregnant, it changed my life. And
Mhm.
of course, at the birth of each one, your life changes. When I had one, then I had two, then I had three. So life just kept changing with the birth of each one, and I was at a different place each birth.
Mhm.
And interesting is the wild ride this has been. It's been a wild ride. I've heard it say before, and it's true. Parenthood does not come with a manual. There's no how-to guides, and certainly it didn't come with a crystal ball to
yep.
let me
Mm-mm.
know what was going to happen. And there's been some things that have shook me to the core with being a mother. But through it all, God has been there. God has been there.
Yep.
And then I say we're rewarding because I get such joy when I see my children thriving. When I see them performing, because my children are performers, or and my youngest one draws, and when I see the portraits that I have hanging up that has been done, it's like, oh my God, you did that. So to see their creativity in each way is so rewarding. And to then see them come back today, like they've honored me and taken care of me today, that's been rewarding. Is you didn't when they're little, you can't see that coming, but to be at that place now where they can give back, it's just beautiful. So it
Mhm.
has been a beautiful day.
That's good. That is good. I think about and I was thinking about what 3 words would I use, and I still have no idea. But that would be a week-long exercise for me, I think, because I can't think of 3 words right off the top of my head. But I can say that I didn't feel um, like a mom until after I separated, because I separated
Wow.
fairly early in my marriage, and Lynn was only 9 months old, and I remember just looking down at her one day and saying, "It's you and me, baby."
Mm.
Oh,
And we gonna get through this. We gonna make this thing work. And hey, Antonio, thank you so much. And thank you for being
Thank
on.
you.
thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
but yeah, that's when uh that's when it got different for me. I think was during that time. And as I look back, I wish I had had more fun.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the different styles of parenting. We did that on one of my other shows, and we
Yes.
were talking about helicopter parenting and this kind of parenting and free range parenting and all this other stuff. And I came up in the era of no, this is what I said do parenting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
figure out your part when you pay your rent and you
Yeah.
move, and you can have the
Yeah.
freedom to do whatever it is you want to do. But right now we're in the what's right and what's wrong phase and stage. And I didn't have the fun that I think I could have had. And she missed out on the little celebrations that she could have had, because I was busy doing what I thought was the right thing to do in terms of parenting.
I agree. I agree for me too.
And I think sometimes that's why grandparents have more fun because we've learned some stuff.
Right. That everything is not all that serious, right?
That's right. We have learned that you can raise children and not lose all your hair and not, bang your head against the wall every day.
Right.
And let them eat candy and it'll be okay.
And they can take a sip of their drink before dinner. You can take a sip and it won't fill you up. A sip won't fill you up.
And it will not be the end of the world.
Right.
Right. You're
Right.
talking about things being life changing, and mistakes can alter, but they can teach us, and it'll be okay. It'll just be okay. So that's where I am in that moment of humility and just being able to say, yeah, it worked out okay.
Right.
It worked out okay.
Right.
And that's funny because
Go
I
ahead.
was talking to someone last week about that process, especially if you have more than one child. You do the best you can with that first one, but then you also learn, oh, well, maybe that wasn't the best way. So now the second one gets the benefit of that,
Yes.
and then you're not maybe as strict. It's like those old commercials. I don't even remember what they were like. First child, they show the parent going out, and then the second child, the first child, the parent has packed the playpen, the
Yes,
bedding,
yes.
Yes.
everything. And the second one, they just grab a diaper and they walk out the door. And it's just
Exactly.
like, you know what? By the time
And
we
the
get to
love
the
commercial. This was
I
a
love
love
that.
commercial. The love commercial.
So it's just, it is a growing process. Yes, it's a lesson. And you know what? I think by the time we do get to be grandparents, I'm not a grandparent yet, but
Right.
by the time we get to that place, we can, you know, we can say, you know what? And it feels almost cheapish, but we can look at our kids and say, you know what? I kind of messed up, but I'm going to make the most of it now. And
Right.
you can't
Yeah.
stop me because it's my grandchild. So,
Right.
you know, I didn't mean to. I didn't know better.
Gigi, nanny, G-ma, whatever you call yourself, just bring them over. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, you
And
want
here's
some
a perfect
candy, baby?
example of
Let me
that.
give you this
My,
candy.
look, my mom used to pinch us, right? And just take it, just twist your flesh, right? So I think I pinched my oldest one time. I didn't do it as like what she did, but I pinched it. She said, "Oh, don't pinch that baby." I said, "What? Excuse me." I said, "Mom, you pinched us so many." She said, "But looking at it now," she said, "if I had to go back, I probably wouldn't do that again because that don't look good. That's not nice, and it might make a bruise." And I wore many bruises, okay? But don't pinch her grandbaby.
That's right.
Antonio has a question here. He said, as authors, did you rely on books as a new mom or rely
did.
more on wisdom of others?
For me, I can answer that. It was both. When I was pregnant with my oldest, I was 33 or 32 when I got pregnant. So I was, I want to make sure I did this right. I didn't want to make, I was an older mom. So, so I had purchased What to Expect When You're Expecting. And that book takes you through pregnancy throughout the first week or two of, at least a month of the baby's birth. I was in that book every day. Like I feel a certain symptom, I got to get the book. How was it? What did it say? I was in that book every day. So I did. And then I did listen to other moms too, but then I had to learn that each story is different. And just because some other mother went through something on pregnancy doesn't mean I was going to go through that. So I had to not be paranoid that, something was going to happen to my pregnancy because it happened to somebody else's. So I did both.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Ruth?
I don't remember if I had that book. I think that was the big book when we, back in the 90s and early 2000s. But I was gifted a book called Supernatural Childbirth, I think it was. And it talked about how, childbirth didn't have to be painful and all of this other stuff. So that book I read and then I reread and then I reread. And by the time I got to Samantha, I understood. And it was just quick at that point. So, I mean, she literally would have been born on I-40 if my husband had taken any more time getting to the hospital. So, yeah, so it was quick, but it was just, honestly, I think back then, and I don't say that flippantly because I understand that, that's 20, almost 30. My son is now 26.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years ago. And Andrea, you're, obviously yours was a few years before that. But, it's just as mothers, I think that first and foremost, we probably relate to what we've been told,
Right.
what other people share, especially if you're in church or in some kind of
Mhm.
group.
Mhm.
Every woman, I think this is 100% everybody's truth. Every woman has a pregnancy story to share.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it was good, but especially if it was bad. They're going to tell you how long they were in labor. They're going to tell you everything they did wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Every woman
That's
has
what
a
made me
story to share.
paranoid. That's what made me paranoid.
So those are I think those are the ones that we've tended. Now, this generation, these new generations may be a little different. And obviously they got the internet, they have TikTok, they have YouTube. So, I think it probably is less books now, but, I think, everybody, everyone, every mother, every woman who's been pregnant has a story to tell and to share. And that probably takes precedence over books.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to the book.
I didn't. The only book that I remember being out in the dark ages when I had Lynn was Dr. Spock.
Oh God, yeah.
And at this point, I don't even remember what he was talking about, but he was the go-to guy.
Yes, a man talking about that. Okay.
Imagine.
He had the formula for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But I think I'm with Ruth. I relied more on what other people said, and also as I got older and watched with Christian, and who's my grandson, and with Lynn, there was so many things that were so different because when Lynn came along, you were in the hospital for 7 to 10 days. You didn't come right home. You didn't have the baby and come right home.
Right.
Fathers were not allowed in the room. You know, they brought the
Mhm.
baby to you, they took the baby out, and the father wasn't allowed in. He wasn't allowed. I remember when Jasmine was born and the nurse came to me and she was all bundled up and she said, "Here, grandma." And I took her.
Right.
She said, and she looked back and she said, "Come on, let's go." And I said, "Where are we going?" She said down to the nursery. And I know she must have thought I had lost my mind because I looked at her and said, "I'm going to carry the baby down the hall." We're going like out in the hall with the baby. I thought nobody does that. And when I was in the room with Lynn and the monitors and all, and she, poor baby, she's in labor. And I'm sitting there going, you can hear the baby's heartbeat through this whole room. This is the coolest thing, And she's like, "Ma," you know? But we didn't, I mean, none of
Right.
that,
It
none
was
of that.
different.
That
Yeah.
just wasn't the way it went. Now, the
Mhm.
funny part was Christian was a big baby. Christian was
Mhm.
over 10 pounds when he was
Oh
born.
my God.
And one of the things that they would tell you is, don't give the baby a cereal and don't do this and don't do that until they get, what, 6 weeks old or something like that.
Or older than that,
And
really.
Yeah, no, I think.
I'm like, he was 3 months old when he got here. He's hungry.
Okay. No,
He
that
needs some
baby was
food.
hungry. That baby
He's
was
hungry. He needs some food. Feed the baby. Get some cereal. Put it in the milk because he is
Mhm.
hungry. And once we did that, he was good to go. Slept all night. He was fine. So there's some things, Antonio, you learn in the process. You
Yes.
learn as you go. And I was never one to say, but the book said. And I find a lot of parents in this day and age are there. I Googled it and it said.
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh.
I'm glad that I didn't put too much stock there because I really could have messed up some stuff badly probably. But I did rely more on what I
Mhm.
saw that worked and listening to folk who had been through it and were wise enough to say, this worked for me,
Right.
may not work for you.
Right.
This worked for me, instead of giving you got to do this, and this,
Yeah.
because like you said, every child is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you also have to consider that, even with, every the book you mentioned, Victoria, they didn't cover things like colicky babies,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and because like when Javen was born, he was so good. And we used to joke around because that was like, okay, well, that's that was a trick from the universe to make sure that we had more than one child. Because the minute Hannah was born, she did nothing but cry. And I was
Right.
like, oh my God, I can't do this.
And that book didn't tell me about gripe water.
Nothing.
You heard about gripe water? That was not in the book. Somebody else
Mhm,
gave me that little trick. Matter of fact, they sent me a bottle of gripe water from New York because it
mhm,
wasn't available down here. And I
mhm.
gave her that gripe water, calmed it right on down.
Well, you see, yeah,
Wow.
and you know what? With me, it was more so, having those mothers in the church. Oh, baby, try this. Baby, do this. When we
Yeah.
had a colicky baby, that was just something. And even, again, this was before the advent of the internet. It was having that kind of network that
Yes.
helped us more because they had been through it. They knew how to deal with it. And again, we figured out eventually that it was just Hannah talking. I mean, that's all she does now is just talk, and that's all she could do back then. So, it was, looking back on it now, I can say, okay, it was stressful going through it. I
Right.
was a new mother. My son was still in diapers, and it was just,
Yeah,
well,
it's
no,
a
he was
lot.
out of diapers, but it was a lot. It was a lot,
Hmm.
and that's I truly believe, that wherever you are as a mother, you need that network of people who have been there,
There
people who
you go.
are going through it, and then there are the women who are, want to go through it.
Yeah.
I think God made us social creatures on purpose because He knew we would need one another.
I agree.
Mm, that's good.
I
Hmm.
agree.
That's good. And you know what, we always, and I'm going to say this, and we're never sure. We're not always sure. Sometimes we're very sure of what we're going to do and what we're going to say and how we're going to say it. And our programs are all laid out. And sometimes we actually do that. Uh, but then there are times like tonight when we say, I'm not quite sure. I'm
Mhm.
not quite sure which way I want to go with this, because we do recognize that it's not always rah-rah time
Mm-hmm.
for everybody. There are some folks who struggle with this holiday and struggle with firsts with
Yes.
the
Yes.
holiday because you miss people. You
Yeah.
miss people when they're gone. So I am very glad that we had the opportunity to. Ruth is always my, just chill. It'll be okay. She's that person in my life. I think everybody needs to have a Ruth
Thank
that
you.
Amen.
that will
Thank you.
talk you off the ledge. You don't even know you're on the ledge, and they just come by and say, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be okay."
It's gonna be all right, and it
Uh,
it certainly has been tonight.
Yeah, and I appreciate that so much in you, Ruth, and the way
Thank
that
you.
things go. I want to read something that Marcia said here. Marcia said, "My mother went totally blind 3 weeks
Wow.
after my first son
Mm,
was born. I trusted her advice since she
Mhm.
raised 8 children.
That's
I've
right.
learned that many remedies were passed
Mhm.
African roots." That is a good thing. Thank you for sharing that with us, Marcia. And I think that if we take nothing else away from the conversation tonight, at least for me, it is the fact that we need each other.
Mhm.
yes.
We
Yes.
need the network. We
Yes.
need the village. We need the unconditional folk in the tribe who don't want to, drag you through the mud if you did something wrong or if something didn't turn out right, but will support you and tell you, baby, it's gonna be okay. We're good.
Exactly.
We're
We
good.
Exactly.
need the stories. We
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
all the
We need the
stories.
stories. We
Yes.
need we need to know that, and I think the most freeing thing is to know you're not the only one.
Mm-mm.
Right.
You are
Right.
not the only one who had a colicky baby. You're not the only one that didn't know what to do when they fell. You're not the
Right.
only one who didn't know that when they come here weighing 10 pounds in 2 weeks,
Better give them some syrup.
gonna need some serum. And all those great things. Yes, Antonio, we need each other. We
Yes.
need
Yeah.
each other through it all. Believe it or not, it is 7:47, and I
Oh
want to
wow.
I want to read something to you that I think will sum it up, and then we're gonna get out of here, guys. But just gotta hold on here, and it's called a celebration of God's creation. And Alan, after I read this, we're going to close out for the night. But it's called a celebration of God's creation, and it says, when God created woman, He knew every role she'd play and placed within her special qualities for each part she'd portray. He gave her traits of motherhood not based solely on birth, but rather distinctive gifts designed for parenting on earth. He fashioned her heart to hold more love than she ever thought she could,
Mm.
and the space to be forgiving even when misunderstood. She has unselfish understanding when others' cries are heard, thought-provoking patience when her dreams have been deferred. She can exhibit a quiet meekness when others are around, yet give a look that says she's spoken without uttering a sound.
Mhm.
Oh, but never be mistaken. Meek and weak are not the same. She'll rise up like a tigress if you cause her loved ones pain.
Yeah.
Her hands are never idle. Her thoughts are rarely still. Always doing, in faith pursuing, seeking God to do his will. A wise prayer warrior who can cover, comfort, nurture, guide, and protect. Quick to say, trust God, he's faithful and he's not finished yet. If you ever hear her praying as tears roll slowly down her face, She's in his presence, thankful for his mercy and his grace. And if a man is blessed enough to find her for his bride, to have, to hold, to cherish, as she stands strongly by his side, he will find extraordinary strength in his ordained helpmeet, and she'll bring out the best in him to make his life complete. When you hear her cries of worship, you know she's set apart because a woman's sincere worship means she's after God's own heart. Women have been chosen for God's purpose in this season. You're not here but by accident, but for a specific reason. You were meant to give him glory before the world began, and all that you have been through has been part of his master plan. Lay hold to your assignments, for God has planted you to be loved and highly favored for who you are and for all you do.
Amen. That's
That's a
beautiful.
celebration of God's creation tonight. We thank each of you for being with us. Thank you, Antonio, for being with us, and for Marcia, and for Linda, who came in tonight. For those of you who will catch the replay, for those of you who will see it on one of the other podcasting programs, we thank you. We love you.
Yes,
We
we
are
do.
celebrate everybody who takes the time to share, who takes the time to just be who you are, do what you do, and let God take care of the rest. He said, "Do not." Anthony said, "Do not let Google replace Grandma. We need each
Yes, yes.
other." Yes, we do. Google is good, but Grandma's better.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So that's it for us for tonight. Please come back. Please come back next week and be with us at 7 o'clock, because you never ever know what's going to happen when you tune in to Authors Up. Good night, Victoria. Good night, Ruth.
Good
Love you guys.
night. Love
I
you.
love you too.
Okay, Alan.